run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, all this buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little had my looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. With the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Got me back up on a backboard. When she asked me if I love her, I just act bored. Say loser, ask for it.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. First carry for Darius Geis. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flush to his right. And incomplete to open things up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
And with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start on the ground with Geis, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? Third and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on third and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll go with a keeper, and they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
We often hear analysts talk about a quarterback's wingspan, almost like a forward in basketball. But here's where it pays to have a long reach. They find a slight opening and are able to stick the ball forward to pick up first downs.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, this is Geis. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I do believe the offense got this back. Goodness, they did. Their own 1-yard line is where they got it back, cutting it close here.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38. Ohio.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38. Ohio. Flex round.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. Looking to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And now look at him go. And he will be marked down inside of New Orleans 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Ohio!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. To throw here. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Well, they started that drive all the way back at the 1, able to march down, get 3.
It was daunting to begin with, wasn't it? But I thought overall, a very poised and efficient drive to get 3 points.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
So it looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, Give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken around the 12. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Dancing to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Flex round! Flex round! Check.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll hand it down to Geis, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hall. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Saints on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and get it with Geis, and they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And onto the field here come the Panthers. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. He'll look to throw. He's got a man complete. And give him a gain of 37.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping him on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38. Flex round. Flex round.
Back to throw now on first down. Being chased out left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A good pickup there at 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On the toss, there goes Gallman. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Pilardi now on the punt as he sends this one away. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Hall. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
On the ground, it's Geis. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Detroit! Detroit!
And the blitz does come. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll drop the throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hall. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And that goes as a gain of 37 on third down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now let's go.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's McKenzie. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal?
Lucky 56.
Back to throw again. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
He'll look to throw, and this is going to be incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Yes, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. On the ground, Geis, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Darius Geis with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Panthers coming out now. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. back to throw here on first down. Buying time to his left. And this is incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and that'll bring up second down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Trey Hendrickson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. The Panthers on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And they're not going to get the kick off in time. And that'll set them back 5. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On the handoff, it's Geis. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast. When you really...
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 54 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Geis. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, They're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints add on to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 8. Oh, spinning away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marcus Williams. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
3rd down, here's Geis. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close. Gets around him.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. He's going to let it fly. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Flex round! Flex round! Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up,
Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that's caught inside the 35. A big third down play there for the Panthers. 46 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to do what we call flat.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Leopard! Leopard!
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to fire one deep. It's caught at the 10. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final.